Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are having a fantastic day. So today's upload is going to be a video about a chance for several days of severe weather brought by a pretty large storm that's going to be coming across southern Canada through Saskatchewan, Manitoba, those provinces, and then it's going to move further eastward, and along with that it's going to bring a severe threat across the United States with its cold front boundary. So we're going to be talking about that today. If you guys would like to subscribe, please consider doing so. If you'd like to like the video, if you're a returning fan, that would be amazing. Subscribing to this channel would mean a lot to me. It would, encourage new growth, potentially exploring new opportunities on the weather front. So if you are a weather fan, this is the channel for you. At least I think. Decide for yourself, obviously, and consider subscribing. So right now, let's look at the GFS model. Notice right now we have we're really in between two large storm systems. There's one that moved off to the east coast, off the northeast coast, really, and moved into southern Canada over the weekend. Well, really Saturday into today. You can see the low pressure still right there across. I think that's as far east as Quebec really goes, and then we start pushing into a new territory of showers across the mid-Atlantic right here. That's brought by a little small disturbance that brought some thunderstorms across the Midwest. If you recall, there was a couple of enhanced risk of severe weather. There was some damage. That is now going to be also affecting the Northeast. But really, the big culprit of the next several days of weather, it's occurring already across the West. We're going to see some thunderstorms today across Nebraska, Kansas, and there's going to be some across the Northwest as well. I can actually show you the storm, really, if I zoom out into the North American continent. This storm has such a wide span that it literally is across, two countries, two large countries, Canada and US, and it's taking a large portion of the continent. So notice, this is where the storm is. It's kind of a mixture of two storms, really. There's one piece to the north that's powerful, one to the south, and I know it's a little bit zoomed out, but that's because it's North American continent. So it's not just the U.S. Notice a little bit of snow across Greenland, not unheard of. It's just, it snows there pretty much 24 all year round. At least there's some chances for that. Notice that we see the storm intensifying, right? And we have one right here, one right there. So it's kind of like a twin storm, and its cold front stretches all the way down into the southern, stretches down all the way to the south, as far south as Nebraska, Iowa, and this affects parts of the northern U.S. with some thunderstorms. This is where things could get pretty risky. You can see this cold front really kind of stretches itself out really thin. The low pressure is stuck west of Hudson Bay, and just to give you a perspective how far north this is where polar bears live, Arctic foxes, all those animals where you typically not see in the U.S. anywhere. So that's basically that's close to the pole. Not many people live there. It's usually just conifer forests. Many trees are not deciduous, as it's too cold for deciduous trees, which drop their leaves in the fall. And notice that we get these little flares of thunderstorms. You can see like that one right there, late Wednesday into Thursday is probably the biggest one of concern, affecting Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Wisconsin. That could be enhanced to even a moderate risk. We'll have to see what the Climate Prediction Center does with that, but thankfully this low pressure doesn't catch along with this cold front, so this cold front just kind of drags along. It does have a resurgence across the Northeast with some thunderstorms, but really this low pressure kind of just stalls out, and that kind of clears it up, and we don't really see much more activity. We see a couple more storms later on, but that's not really of our concern right now. It's this big storm. We'll be dropping lots of precipitation, coming into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every day of those, every weekday up till Thursday and Friday, it's going to be affected by this storm. And you can see parts of the Northwest as well getting affected by this with some rain, and the South getting a little bit affected because of this strong lift by this cold front lifts some of this moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, causes some stir-ups. You can see some pop-up thunderstorms, so definitely keep an eye out for that in the Southeast as well. Let's go back to the southern let's go back to the South and just focus on the continental United States, where most of the viewers are. You can see this is some pretty gnarly storms. I apologize for the word. I don't know why I used that, but you can see that it produces definitely a threat for some thunderstorms that could be severe. We'll have to definitely monitor that. It's overpopulated areas, the Quad Cities, Moline. What else is there? Davenport also there. I almost blanked out right there. Sorry about that. Dubuque, Iowa, Chicago, Milwaukee, Peoria, Champaign, Illinois, into Green Bay, possibly moving into Detroit. So definitely some good news for the rain, if you will, but not really good news for the population areas where you could get affected by some strong to severe thunderstorms. Let's look at the total accumulated precipitation from these events. You could see not awfully great, if you will, but it's summer, so this is the GFS as well, so it tends to widespread these I guess amounts out. What GFS is better for precipitation during the winter time, unfortunately not really for the summertime, as summer, unless it's a large widespread thunderstorm event, which we could have in this case, the rains are isolated, and where they do occur, they occur heavy, and they could drop up to 6-7 inches of rain in in a couple of hours, while the neighboring towns could see nothing. So that's why it makes it a little bit more dangerous, as it's more concentrated over a single area rather than what we would kind of want, a more widespread rain event, which is what occurs usually during the fall, winter, and spring. Again, it's summer, so they're very tough to predict, these events. Let's see what some of the higher resolution models have to say. The NAM 12KM, you can see it also shows that rain across, especially centered across the Midwest, the southern Midwest, if you will, into Indiana, Illinois, Iowa. And let's look into the radar and precipitation to see what the NAM model has to say about this. Each model is different. Each has its own little twist. So you can see it has this storm to the north, and if you're wondering, the effect of this storm are going to be felt as early as today. You can see some thunderstorms across Nebraska, Kansas, sorry, not Nebraska, North Dakota and South Dakota, and this is, you can see, late today, early tomorrow morning. This really starts intensifying tomorrow, though. We get a few flare-ups. You could see across Nebraska some thunderstorms across the north woods of Minnesota, so that's definitely something we have to monitor. Notice we get more of a elongated cold front by Tuesday, late Tuesday. That's a nice little thunderstorm cluster, and then we have that pretty large event that could occur across Illinois and Indiana, which we'll definitely have to monitor for that. And you can see that stretches into Indianapolis, I don't know why I say Paulus, but Detroit, Columbus, Cleveland. You can see all those cities are in for some rain and severe weather possibly. So this is definitely something that could be that definitely has to be watched. Let's go to the 18Z HER model and see what they're showing in terms of the very short range, so up until 36 hours. You could see as of now it's really relatively quiet, so some scattered showers across the northeast, kind of the mid-Atlantic region, a few bigger clusters across the south right now, but really we start seeing across southern Canada these storms starting to flare up, indication that that storm is starting to intensify. You could see we get a few flare-ups across North Dakota, and then I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be more activity than what the HER model is showing. But you can see that now into late tomorrow we see quite a nice cluster, a line of thunderstorms, which indicates some severe weather, some strong winds, probably some hail. Tornadoes not seemingly too high, but definitely there's a possibility. If we were to look at the European model, it doesn't show us the precipitation, but it does show us the storm is definitely up there, and I'll actually show you the precipitation amounts of the European and what it thinks, because it's important to show you every model that I can. So if you were to notice, now we are looking at the European model on Pivotal Weather. Hopefully you would notice, obviously, a pretty drastic change. We're on a different website, Pivotal Weather. This is definitely a really good website to use. I would recommend it 100%. It's free to use, as a European model, which Tropical Tidbits doesn't really have. But, that's just, I guess, one thing that has an advantage over. But really, just awesome websites that I use. So I apologize if I don't include their names often enough. But again, here's Pivotal Weather, Tropical Tidbits. I'm sure anyone that watches this channel knows at this point these websites are often used by many people, and they are great. So let's look at this. Let's check out. So you can see the European really flares up a lot of thunderstorms tomorrow across southern Canada. So if you live across portions of southern Canada, Calgary, maybe seeing some rain, some thunderstorms, really some other cities. And I don't really know many cities across these areas. I know there's quite a few. I apologize, but I only know the bigger metropolitan areas. Toronto, Montreal, Quebec, all those, those larger cities. But if you were to look at the storm, you could see today not that much European is showing. It's really tomorrow that we start seeing that flare up across the North Woods, again into Nebraska, Iowa. You can see quite a bit of severe weather, a lot of rain, and then again the European is now starting to get more in agreement with the GFS about this larger event across the Illinois, Indiana area, which could be rather significant. The GFS is a bigger proponent of that, so the European shows it a little bit weaker, but it seems like the European has been kind of catching along with the GFS, so we'll have to definitely monitor that. And, you know, just to let you know that this is not the last storm that will be coming. You can see there's another storm next weekend that could be delivering some rain and lots of activity, so that's good. You know, things won't be drying out. It's been hot, it's been unbearably hot, but at least there will be precipitation with that. And notice, again, it has that 2-storm setup that I showed you in that North American content scenario on Tropical Tidbits. Look, and you can see that the European has that same thing, and this storm is a beast, really. If you live across, you know, at this altitude of these this location right here across southern Canada, this is really stretching into now, I think that's Manitoba and Saskatchewan. They're going to get hit the most with some ongoing rain. It doesn't seem like it'll be awfully severe, but again, it's been warm, and the warmth has been stretching out way into further north than ever before. So this is definitely something we'll have to monitor as well. But you know, I don't know what service. I know that for the U.S. there's a National Weather Service. For Canada, I'm sure they have a Bureau of Weather, but I just don't know what it is. I'm not oriented with that. But definitely keep an eye on for that. We're going to be definitely seeing some thunderstorms and showers. Really, the Northeast also seeing a bit of shower activity, and that's brought by a kind of like a that recurring, you know, remember that system that passed a couple days ago. It's still kind of dragging across parts of the Northeast, really taking its time, and you can see another one kind of develop. So definitely keep an eye on for that. Stay tuned to your National Weather Service. Really, the West stays quiet, which is a little bit dangerous. It's going to be warm and dry, not really the best news. But the South is also relatively dry. Maybe the Peninsula of Florida seeing a little bit more of precipitation than the rest of the South, but that's, you know, typical. You could see that it's look at the storm motion. It's really from east to west, which is usually not what happens across the northern hemisphere, but sometimes that definitely does. And you can see that we have that occurring across Peninsula Florida. Let's look at some of the rain amounts. They will be significant, but hopefully, you know, they won't be coming all all at once, unless you're in like a severe thunderstorm event where we could get loads of rain within a few hours. And you can see that the European really shows these bright colors, but you know, like the red, for example, is only really 2 inches. So yeah, that's a lot, but it's not horrendous. If you were to look at his map, it looks way more drastic. But notice the south, the central South Plains, just dry like a rock. That's not good news. West also really dry, not good news. But notice the Canada seeing lots of rain, the northern U.S. seeing lots of rain, 4, 5, 3 inches plus. The Northeast seeing lots of rain. The Mid-Atlantic seeing a bit, really a little bit, you know, not that good amounts of rain. Hopefully we could change that pattern up. But you can see Florida seeing quite generous amounts, especially the southern peninsula, or the southern tip of the peninsula. Further north you go, the amounts lessen up. But yeah, that's why the northern U.S. is going to be in for quite a bit more precipitation than the rest of the United States. It's by these big storms that are going to be constantly tracking through southern Canada. Seems like that's been the pattern this year so far. So I wanted to show you the Storm Prediction Center. You can see they have an enhanced area of risk for tomorrow and a large area of slight risk, which, you know, slight kind of is, I guess, a better wording, because, slight risk, it's a little small risk. But the storms that do occur in a slight area of risk sometimes can be, you know, equally as powerful as they are in a high risk. It's not, slight risk doesn't mean the intensity. It means kind of like the widespread, I guess, intensity, if you will, the widespreadness of the severe thunderstorms. But if you get under one severe thunderstorm and even a marginal risk, it's going to be as bad as it would be in a high risk. Maybe just not as many people would be affected by so many thunderstorms. You could see for today a slight risk across Kansas into Texas, really southwestern Kansas, southeastern Colorado, northeastern New Mexico, and into the panhandle of Texas, and across right here across Georgia as well, or sorry, Alabama. That is really to do with a little line of thunderstorms, a derecho that is occurring right there. You can see right now. It seems to be dwindling, but it definitely still has power. It has power. And we're also watching for Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday, I don't think they have an outlook yet. Yeah, no area because it's too far out, but definitely it would be somewhere around here. So that's basically all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider liking the video, consider subscribing to the channel. I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.